5 tips for boosting your immunity naturally. We know that we live in a stressful world and certainly a stressful time, but I almost feel we're stressed like a badge in our culture. We say, oh, I'm so stressed, but do we really stop to think about what that actually means to us emotionally, physically, spiritually? And I don't think we often do. And there's a lot of science behind what stress does to our body, and it certainly has a massive impact on the immune system. So we're going to touch on that. Of course, I couldn't do this presentation without talking about the power of touch and what we can do with the power in our own hands through acupressure and massage to help boost our immunity. Of course, food is medicine, and the access to nutrition is so critically important to boost our immunity. So we're going to look at some top tips for that. Movement is so critical. Motion is lotion, as you say as a therapist, but it's not just about whether we can move. It also has an impact on our nervous system, which has an impact on our immune system. And of course, last but not least, because it's the foundation of all healing and wellness, and that is sleep. And during sleep, that restorative time, that's when our immune system gets to work. However, we are often deprived of sleep for many different reasons. And if you notice, I've picked these 5 things, but I wanted to point out something very interesting, is that they're all, when I talk about integrative health, they're all interconnected. The body and the mind are connected. We can't separate them, just like the systems of the body. So how we eat or what we don't eat impacts the way we can move or we can't move, impacts how we sleep or not sleep. And the stress of all of that has a massive impact on the way we feel and how we age. So we have to keep the mindset as we talk here that everything is interconnected. And what I hope to do today is give you some practical, evidence-informed tips so you can get into action when it comes to your immune health. Hydration is critically important for our health. And I will say candidly, 31 years as a massage therapist, dehydration, people are walking around and they do not realize just how dehydrated they are. And in fact, usually the signs and symptoms have already manifested and they don't even realize. Confusion, brain fog. When we talk about energy, often it's because people aren't hydrating enough. Our skin, our gut health, our bowel movements, our kidneys. It is critically important to help get rid of toxins. And when we get rid of toxins, we help to increase our immunity, and we also have to increase our energy. So when I keep going back to show you how there's not just one quick fix, there are many things that layer together, and the cascading effect that happens. The Canadian 24-hour movement guidelines, and this is so important because we have a really sedentary lifestyle nowadays. And since the pandemic, the isolation, it has been even more. And it's so critically important. So things to consider when it comes to movement and the impact on the immune system. What the studies have shown is moderate to vigorous aerobic physical activities accumulating up to 150 minutes per week. So that doesn't mean it has to all be done at once. Over the course of the week, you want to get that heart pumping and actually doing aerobic physical activity in order to help your immune system. Here's something that I'm passionate about as a massage therapist. As we age, we lose bone mineral density and we lose muscle mass. That's why it's so important to have protein. But muscle strength is so important for many things, to prevent falls, but also with our immune system. Doing muscle strengthening exercises, something as simple, and I know this sounds crazy, but I've seen it in my practice where seniors they start to lose muscle mass, and then they have a difficult time trying to get up out of a chair, so they have to do this. They're rocking back and forth before they can stand up, and that is not a good sign. So what if just while you're watching television, you're watching a favorite program, or maybe you're listening to the radio, or you're listening to some music, which is also really good for our immune system, you're literally going to do squats from sitting to standing, up and down, and up and down. One might think, well, that seems so easy. I can tell you, over the course of 3 decades, how many falls and fractures I've seen because of muscle wasting and atrophy, lack of muscle strength, that we lose without even realizing it because we're not moving our bodies. I want to leave you with this thought that I really want here to change the mindset of Canadians. This whole preventative health movement, a healthy tomorrow begins with prevention today. And here's the good news. It's never too late to start. At every age and stage of life, we need to recognize that we're the most important member of our healthcare team. And I hope that today, the little tools that I gave you and the things I'm going to do to follow up is going to stock your toolbox to improve your health esteem so you feel more empowered to take control of your health. And during cold and flu season, stress is one of the worst things for us. So be kind to yourself. Pay attention to what your body's telling. Listen to what your body is saying. And do little things at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day. But over time, that adds up, and you will see the tremendous benefit. And you'll look back a year from now and go, wow, remember that webinar? I implemented just 2 or 3 things, and now look the way I'm feeling. It's never too late to start. And it's never too late to stay connected with me. If you have questions, I encourage you to follow the Preventative Health Awareness Movement. It's a completely free campaign. It'll be happening in February. You can join by going to wallisforwellness.com so you'll know when it's happening. We're on Facebook and Instagram. I'm really on a mission to try to educate and empower every Canadian to be good to themselves, but to also understand that we're better together and that there's lots you can be doing to help yourself.